Right boys, so it's Christmas Eve, so I'll try and keep this brief. Today's video is going to be a mindset one. So at the beginning of this year, I created a mental model for myself, and I just thought about, what do you want out of life? Everybody wants a good life, but what actually is that? So I thought deeply on that, I meditated on it, and I come to the conclusion to max out every area of life. If you think on that, you think, oh, it's impossible, there's so much to consider. But really, you can distill it down, in my opinion, to 4 things. And this is my mental model, and I call it the good life model. So for a good life, all you need to do is be good at these 4 things: belief, health, wealth, and relationships. So if you think about that, belief is your mindset, and it goes in this order. It goes in the order that I just said. Belief is the mindset. If you don't have the correct mindset, everything looks shit. So depression is a belief system that isn't serving you. So the opposite of that is joy and just general happiness, or at least observing reality as it is, presence. So what I did at the beginning of the year was I decided I heard someone say, if you read 3 books, the 3 best books on a given subject, you will know more about that subject than pretty much everyone you'll ever meet in public, like in general. So I thought, well, if you read like 20 books on a subject, surely you've mastered it. And if there's only 4 aspects of life, belief, health, wealth, and relationships, if I just read 100 books, then I've mastered life. So that was my theory. And I started doing that, and I got about 60 books in. I read the 60 books. So what I did was I sectioned it off into belief. I chose 24 books. Health, I chose 24 books. Wealth, 24 books. Relationships, 24 books. And my plan was to read all the books, and then I would know everything about everything. But my experience proved that that's not actually the case. So you can't just read books and get the answers. You have to practice it. So what happened was I read all the books. I front-loaded reading and knowledge. Read all the books, and then I've had to experience the lessons in the book. So they only become knowledge, or they only become wisdom. Wisdom is embodied knowledge. So you might know, but you have to experience to become wise. So once you've read the books, then you've got to actually experience the thing. So today we're talking about belief, and I might list actually the books that I chose in my belief section. So these are mindset books to just broaden your horizon and teach you about how life works. A lot of religious texts, because that's belief systems. So anyway, now you know my mental model: belief, health, wealth, relationships. So it's Christmas Eve, and a belief that might benefit you is the idea, one, that life is extremely hard. And nobody really tells you that. I mean, you're brought up as a kid and people try and shelter you from the fact that life is fucking hard. And there's not a point where people go, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to have to pay bills, and you're probably going to get sick, and you're going to have heartbreak and these painful experiences. You just kind of expect it all to be okay. Life, I mean, even just cut your skin, the amount of pathogens that are trying to infect you and kill you, you're fighting it off all the time. So life is essentially extremely hard. So that's a belief that you might not have been exposed to. You might think, why am I feeling like shit? Or why is this difficult? Well, it's because life's hard. It's all survival. And another thing to take into consideration that I've just realised is we all have different seasons. So although it's Christmas and people say have a Merry Christmas, it might be more merry for some people than others. So if some people are in the summer phase or the summer season, they might have a great Christmas, but you might not. It might not be the time for you to have a good Christmas this year. Maybe last year was your summer, and now you're in winter. So like I'm in the woods now, and all these trees are bare. All the leaves have come off. If you say to this tree, why have you got no leaves on? Why don't you cheer up and, have a Merry Christmas? It's like, it's winter. I don't do leaves in the winter, that's for summer. But if it compared itself to, say, the ivy on the floor that's got loads of green leaves, it would be like, well, why has he got leaves and I'm bare? So that was a weird comparison. I'll give you another example. I deliver for a supermarket in the evening, so I will deliver shopping to one family and then drive to another part. I live on the Isle of Wight, and then I'll drive somewhere else and deliver to another family. And the first family I deliver to, you can tell they're in the summer season of their life. There's a nice car on the drive, they're in a beautiful big house, they're all happy, it's the man's got a wife and kids and it's all sorted, and he's in summer, he's winning. And then I'll go straight from that delivery, that will be like in a really nice part of the island, like affluent area. Then I'll drive down the road and my next delivery will be to some beat up old house where you can tell the man might be depressed, his girlfriend's just left him, or he's got some hard things he's dealing with in his life. And he's in winter, he's not winning. You can tell he's not winning. Compared to the person I just delivered to, he's in the winter of his life. And he might compare himself to the other guy, like the leaves on the tree to the ivy on the floor, and be like, why am I not winning? And if you do that, you might get stuck in winter, and that's depression. You can get stuck there and just reaffirm, when you talk to yourself like that, why do I not have that? Why am I not winning in life? You get stuck in winter. And these trees, they don't dwell on the fact that they've got no leaves. When the sun comes out, the leaves come back. They don't worry about being depressed, because they're not depressed, they're just in winter. So you might see this time of year, Christmas and New Year, a lot of people having a lot of fun and having a Merry Christmas. And yours might not be that merry. But don't worry, because you've got to go through the winter, and that's where all the growth happening now for these trees is underground. It's the roots. And they build the foundation for when the sun comes back out. So don't get caught up on the fact that the sun's not out for you. It will come back if you let the seasons play out. So you might have some really hard things you're dealing with that other guy doesn't. But at some point his summer will end and it will become winter for him, and you might be in your summer. So don't be envious of other people's seasons. So you've got to honour your own season. And another thing is, where was I going with that? No, it's gone. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, right, it's just come back to me. The other thing is, a lot of people are fake happy. So when they're having a Merry Christmas, like I actually delivered to a guy last night who was clearly had a few to drink, and he's come to the door a bit merry, let's say. But he might be in the winter of his life and he's numbing it. We all use vices to numb the winter. When we get into winter, or the hard part of life, we might smoke weed, we might smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, do drugs, use all manner of vices, binge eat food to make us happy again. So we're trying to be in winter and put leaves on the tree, and it doesn't work. And if you do that, it halts the process. So if you're in winter and you're this tree and you're trying to force leaves, so that's you get some sad news and you decide to smoke weed to make yourself feel better. You're going to postpone that winter for as long as you smoke weed, and then you'll throw the cycle off. Your season won't come through properly and the summer will be fucked up. So when you see other people, they might look really happy on the surface and they're saying, oh, have a Merry Christmas. When in reality, they're just drowning their sorrows. They're just postponing winter. Their life's hard, just like everyone else. There's a 4-part cycle. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. And we are in the hard times part of the cycle. I'll do a full video on this. But I don't think anyone quite realises that, because we've just come out of good times. We're actually in hard times now. And people are pretending that it's still good times, and it isn't. Financially, a lot of people are struggling. Health-wise, a lot of people are struggling. Especially in the West, relationships are struggling. Mindset is struggling. If you look at the 4 categories of what I deem a good life, belief, that's mental health. There's a mental health crisis going on, so that's hard times. Well, health. 60% of the population are overweight. A lot of people suffering with chronic diseases, so health's fucked. Wealth. A lot of people are struggling financially. So that's hard times. Relationships. A lot of marriages are failing, relationships aren't as strong as they used to be, the family is not as strong as it used to be. So when all four areas of a good life are not present, that's the definition for me of hard times, and we're in that now. So no wonder people are using vices to be happy. But by all means, get drunk, eat a bunch of shit, and enjoy your Christmas. And that's fine. But just be mindful of what's going on. So, actionable step for this video is, if you're in the summer season of your life and Christmas is a merry one, then enjoy it. Have a good time, and enjoy the summer. Win. When you're winning, you should enjoy the winning. If you're not, don't look at the man that's winning with envy and be like, oh, it's not fair, because he'll have a winter. He will have a winter when he's not winning, and he'll have to deal with it. And if it's your winter now, you have to deal with it. And the way I would say to do that, and the way I deal with it, is you stick to the habits. The habits that you know to be correct, they get you through hard times. You stick to them when it's good times, and you stick to them when it's hard times. You do the habits in the summer season of your life and in the winter. So it's just the basic stuff that we all know. Meditation, hit the gym, eat clean, hydration, sleep, talking to people that you know and trust. Basic stuff. Journaling, that's a good one. So yeah, pick one or two habits, the ones that you know work. For me, it's walking. Time in nature, I'm doing it now. If I'm in the winter season, I will force myself to walk in nature every day. I won't want to. Sometimes I don't want to. But it's the anchor that will hold you while the storm's going on. So I hope that helps, boys. Have a good Christmas. See you tomorrow. Done.